Ooh, looky, let's see what game Santa got for Cookie. The first game to fall down my chimney via Amazon delivery service is the game with the most stupid title, Divinity Original Sin 2. How can it still be the original sin when it's the second game, and Divinity wasn't the original sin to start with, nor in fact is it a sin at all. To be honest, I never would have asked Santa to get me this if Dex didn't proposition me to get it after he had a few to drink. He offered to get Remnant from the Ashes in exchange for me getting Divinity 2, which is a fair enough deal. The interesting thing about this is that Remnant is a game I like, which he would never buy, and Divinity is a game he likes that I would never buy, so it'd be interesting to see what we think of each other's games in future videos. That being said, I couldn't help feeling passive when I opened it up, because of my experiences with the first one. I pretty much know what this game is going to be like. Even though Dex tries to convince me that the second game is a lot better with improvements and advances to the combat, I am still doubtful that it's going to win me over. We will just have to see how it fares when we get round to playing it. The next game Santa bought me was Immortal. Now, as a fan of Remnant, I pretty much got the bug for these hard third-person shooters. This one looked like it had some potential when I first saw it, but it kind of fell off my radar. When I came across it again, I thought, why not give it a go? The setting looks decent and the story seems interesting enough. What I'm hoping for from this game is something unique. That could be through the combat, enemies, stories, or characters. I mean, as long as it doesn't turn out to be something like the Technomancer, I'll be pretty content with it, to be honest. I have to say that the enemies in this trailer do look a bit generic, and like in most trailers, there isn't much to go on gameplay wise, but that's the fun of taking a risk on a game. It might actually surprise me. I told you I caught the bug for these games. Elix is another hard third-person shooter hoping to get some of that sweet Dark Souls candy cane. Yeah, I pretty much expect it to be like Immortal in a different skin with a different end of the world story. It's kind of hard to say which one is going to come out on top from the trailers, but if I was a betting man, I would put my money on this. There's just much more going on in this trailer. Even though the protagonist is just walking through and everything is happening around him, it shows off variety with the landscapes and enemies. I'll be interested to see how they blend all of these themes together. Nevertheless, this trailer has captured my attention more than Immortals did. It would be sad to see this turn out to be a generic bore fest, but it is cheap and forgotten for a reason. That being said though, so is Fate to Silence, and that turned out to be a game I grew fond of. I think I'll play this one first. Well, I didn't honestly think I would live long enough to finally see the third entry in the Borderlands series, but let's be honest, the second one was the best, followed by the first, and in last place is that god-awful pre-sequel. I'm betting this third entry though is going to take that bronze medal from the pre-sequel, Borderlands 3 in third place. How fitting. This entry to the franchise is simply going to be more Borderlands, but what is going to hold it back and make it annoying is that Gearbox have clearly tried to appeal to the millennial fucks. I'm expecting to find characters that are aimed at edgy teenagers that are going to constantly throw out cringy one-liners. It remains to be seen if that's going to be worse than the diabolical Aussie voice actors used in the pre-sequel, but regardless, I know it's going to be painful to sit through. This game was a desperate grab to get some of the same attention that the second game got, but anyone with any sense knew that this game was never going to achieve that. But I have missed Borderlands, and it's been a long time since I've played one, so that's why it's on this list.
Savor every last moment of your pain.
Wow, how do you follow such a desperate act like Borderlands 3 to get in with the cool kids? Well, you top trump it with Rage 2. Watching both of these trailers is like watching parents trying to connect with their kids by being hip and cool. But Rage 2 has definitely beaten Borderlands for the cringiest trailer. It's unbearable to suffer through. The protagonist has that cocky, I don't care because I'm so cool guys, the edgiest of all edges attitude that makes me want to eat glass while punching myself in the face. The kind of people that find these characters cool honestly are the biggest douchebags you'll ever find in your life. I can't sit through this trailer, I had to mute it because I didn't want to get pissed off. The thing that makes me laugh is that the original Rage is still miles better than this and Mad Max put together. Well, what did we expect from the studios that brought us the terrible modern Wolfenstein and Doom games as well as Mad Max itself? All we have to do is slap a Bethesda sticker on it and you know that you have a game that manages to stand out as something spectacularly shit. Santa must have got me this because I killed cats in the previous life or something. I doubt this one is ever going to get played. It's so far down the list of games to play that I genuinely think I'm going to die or stop playing games before I get round to it. Well, that's what I'm aiming for at least. And what the fuck have I done to deserve this? Honestly, Santa, I would have preferred hot coals down the front of my trousers while Edward Scissorhands gives me an unnecessarily long prostate exam. It's the sort of game you wouldn't even dare think of re-gifting. There is a line to how much shit people are willing to put up with. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot Xbox bought Bethesda. These two were made for one another. Both are out of touch, clueless game developers, but I for one am happy it happened. As I now know where a large crowd of shit games hang out, they're all under that lovely neon green glow on the bad side of town. Apart from Forza Horizon 4, the only Xbox exclusive out of the entire generation that is worth getting. I'd say 76 is the perfect crowning jewel to sum up Xbox's performance this generation. This acquisition makes me think that Xbox is actually self-aware of how shit they really are. But even as terrible as 76 is, I would still rather play that than Rage 2. Finally, a list where 76 didn't turn out to be the worst game on. You worked hard for it, champ, and I'm proud of you. That Rage 2 trailer is still boiling my blood. I don't need to say anything more about 76. Bethesda would have got less shit if they beat whoever dug up those ET Atari games and put those in the 76 boxes instead. And while they're there, they might as well have chucked every copy of 76 in the ditch and put a flamethrower to it. Now I've got through that shit, let's end with a couple of games that actually have a shot of creaming my cookie. Now this is a trailer that I like. Quick cover of the story and straight into lengthy footage of real gameplay. That's quite unique these days. Typically trailers are designed to hide the real game footage, which always leaves me asking why. I just assume trailers do that because whoever makes them wants to hide the gameplay. Now, why do you think a game that is trying to sell itself as a game hide its gameplay from its target audience? Anyway, this looks like it could be a fun, simple hack and slash against loads of enemies from hell. There looks to be a tower defense element in the game which reminds me of one of the Van Helsing games. Now it might not look like much, but it could turn out to be one of those basic games that is good, something along the lines of Vikings Battle for Asgard. I'm certainly looking forward to it more than Rage 2, Borderlands 3 and Fallout 76. You three really should be ashamed of yourselves. I certainly have saved the best till last. This game has so much potential to be something I will really like. For a start, it's set in space and has a similar story to Mass Effect Andromeda. Our job is to go out in space and find a new home for our crew on our ship. To do that, we have to explore and gather new resources, so we can expand and craft new gear. But of course, we aren't going to be no man's skying our way around until we fall asleep, as there is a variety of alien scum to kill. What I like about this trailer is that it shows you exactly what you're getting with the game. This game has content it's proud of and wants to be honest about it. It's not hiding behind a shitty cutscene or scripted gameplay, unlike Rage Fuck You 2. Now the shooting and alien AI does look a bit basic, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the game on the whole is going to be subpar, as there is a fair bit packed into this one. This game has a bit of Earth defense and a bit of Alien in there, as well as all of the crafting and ship upgrading. There is also a focus on upgrading the crew itself, so that brings its own upgrades, but I think later on there's going to be a bit of management there as well. I'm actually feeling really confident about this game. I think it's going to be the one that impresses me the most out of all of these games. So to wrap it up here is a list of the games I'm most looking forward to starting. Annoyingly though, Divinity is going to have to be the first one I play through.
Your ship is like an ark, and the crew is the most important part of your endeavor. No crew, no Genesis. Improve the crew's DNA and treat them properly, and they will grant success of your mission.